Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid August 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the lovely Saggies in early to mid-August 2026? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Saggies in early to mid-August. What's the vibe? What's the energy? We're going to have ourselves a good time today, my friends. Let's have some fun. All right, cool. So love this lady's haircut. She has like a really nice, unique hairdo right there. And I like the overall energy here because it could either be mending something, fixing something, or putting effort in. That's very crafty too. So I usually like this quite a bit. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, the lovely lady with the unique hairdo, she is sitting in front of a sewing machine that has a rainbow coming forth from it. She is also holding a golden thread. Now, this does give me similar vibes to the Eight of Pentacles in the tarot deck for some reason, where it's about effort. Whether it's equality and effort, equal give and take, or just something I'm working towards or putting energy towards. So whether it's like side business, whether you got work and career stuff on your mind, that could all be in play here, where it's like I'm doing this, I'm working on this, I'm creating something. So this is a huge card of creation that I really, really like. If your creative juices are flowing, whether it's a hobby, whether it's thinking outside of the box, this energy supports it. It could be art, music, writing, you name it. This is great for that stuff. I've been seeing that around the fire signs in particular this week. The only downside to this is sometimes it can represent a little too much effort or having to try too hard. So maybe try to be in a flow state when it comes to certain things you're dealing with, because sometimes this energy could do a little too much. So I think that's just worth keeping in mind. I like it for fixing things though too. So maybe it's just something about like that fine balance between effort and flow. But we're just going to let her chill right there. Let's get into tarot. Yeah, it could fix something, or there could be something that's very fixable. And yeah, I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright, and we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Saggies in early to mid-August. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Very much fiery in nature. The reading was titled Explosive Action Incoming. Now, since Saggy is a fire sign, this energy seemed to flow. It seemed to work pretty well. Whether it was an action you were getting ready to take or an action somebody else was getting ready to take, to me it felt like a buildup of pressure. And then boom, here we go. We're rocking and rolling. So keep an eye on that over the coming days and weeks, especially if it's like impulse driven or riskiness. Like that did feel like part of it too, where it's like, no, I'm just going to do it. Nope, I'm not going to think about it. Nope, this is what's happening. Did seem a little, I don't want to call it sporadic, but it felt that way. But let's see what shows up this week. Yeah, as you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So we could be looking at your vibe or somebody else, right? And energy does always change and fluctuate. We're looking at an energetic weather report, my friends. Let's get 3 cards. Yeah, the fiery energy is still in the mix. We got the Ace of Wands, position number 1. Again, that's a good energy for Sag. It sure is. Let's get it tucked in here by the amethyst. Let's get 2 more out. Let's get 2 more out here for Saggy. What do we got? Cool. Yeah. All right. That's odd. So more fire. That's definitely in place, but this is a very, very cautious type of energy. Let's get 1 more. Total opposite of what I was saying, where like there's the one energy that wants to play it safe, and then this one energy that wants to go. We have the 4 of Cups right here on the back end, which is mulling something over. This is very intriguing. And we do have the Tower as a bonus card, so don't get freaked out about that. It's just very intense, and the Tower and the Ace of Wands do hold similar vibrational frequencies, in my opinion. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that lays a nice foundation for us and tells us how the energy flows or how comfortable you might be with it. And we have a lot of fire right here in the front end, and we got water right here in the back. Even though the tower looks like fire and brimstone, it is water energy. Now, these affect two totally different things. When it comes to the fire, which is your comfort zone, that's your power element. This is where Sagi energy is usually in its zone. It's about action. So whether it's the actions you take, the actions you want to take, the actions other people take, the actions you decide not to take, because there could be a little bit of that going on here too. It's usually high vibrational frequency, like let's go, let's do this. Very energetic. It could deal with health and wellness as well. So if you're making changes or trying to get that on lock, this could be a good thing. Watch for dips in energy too, because it's like we go from high to low, but we'll talk about that further down the line. The only downside to the fire is similar to what I was saying last week. It could be impulsive, it could be explosive, it could be hard to contain. So watch out for urges in this time. Then here on the back end, we have the water, right? With the cups, the 4 cups, and the tower. Water is internal, right? Whereas like this is outside action, outside movement. This energy is happening within somebody. So whether it's matters of the heart, matters of feeling, matters of emotion, things, people, situations that we're emotionally invested in. Water is strong when it comes to intuition, having gut feelings. Huge when it comes to creativity and thinking outside of the box, similar to that oracle card we had in the beginning. So I like water. It's huge when it comes to love, though. That's a big thing. The downside to water is just like the tides, it's always moving. It could be a little wish-washy. So it could be up and down and back and forth. And I do kind of see that little dance going on with the energy this week. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number 1, Ace of Wands. Cool. Now, I always love all aces. I always say to me, they represent offers and opportunities. And the Ace of Wands in the first position, we're starting with a bang. Boom. Very energetic energy here. Now, it does have some differences from the other aces. So, again, whether this is a talk, conversation, or message, because these are communication cards in a big way, conversation that comes in hot, comes in heavy, that could easily be it here. Or just something that presents itself to you, where it's like, oh, that door just opened. Should I take that door? There might be some second guessing when we get to that second card, but we'll talk about that in a minute. This could be a door just opening for you, which I think is really good. Big opportunity or offer. The downside to this card, similar to what I mentioned, it's like the tower in a way, where it's just like very fiery, very hot, like it's a explosive quality, but it's much less than a tower. So I'm just picking up a lot of intensity here. It could be a little wild, it could be a little hard to handle. So again, watch the urges and stuff like that, or there could be someone that's exhibiting a little bit of risky behavior here. Nothing wrong with some calculated risk. Moving to the center, though, we do have an energy that completely offsets it, because we have the Ace of Wands right there in the front that starts us off with a bang. And we move into the Nine of Wands. The wounded warrior. We see this person, they have bandaged their head, they have built a wall, and they are standing guard. Now, in the positive sense, this card could just represent someone being protective. This is a card that's like security, stability. I am building this. This is my territory. This is mine. It's like an energy that's very alert and very aware. That's a good thing. If there are certain things, situations, people you're keeping a close eye on, this could be it. The downside to the Nine of Wands, it could represent communication issues. So next to the communication card, and we have this, watch for miscommunications, watch out for blockages, watch out for rejections. Not saying that you're out here rejecting everyone, but this energy could be certain behaviors, thought processes, actions, or even people where it's like, nope, I'm building this wall. Nope, I'm not doing that. This energy could also be extremely skeptical about something. So whether it's a thing or a situation, next to the Ace of Wands, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I'm not buying it. That's how this energy shows. So we'll see what's up with that. Hopefully it's not that rejection type of energy. We'll see. Now, moving to the back end, there's just a lot of thinking going on. Right? I mean, maybe this is an energy that's just trying to keep to itself, stay in its own lane, like when we combine the whole thing. Because we have the 4 cups, and we see that lady, she's under the tree. It looks like she's having a little snooze, thinking, thinking, thinking. She's looking at those 3 cups as well. But she doesn't see that the universe is handing her the Ace of Cups. She's too focused on this. Now, in the good sense, just like the Oracle card, it's very creative, it's very artistic, deep, rich inner world here. But the downside, it could represent overthinking. Someone that's really in their feelings about something. There's not a lot of action here. So like when we go from all this action, all this intensity to the 4 cups, doesn't seem to be much is happening. Watch out for boredom. Watch out for restlessness. Watch out for cabin fever when this card is here. but it can be really creative and expressive. That's one thing I like. There's something about someone wanting to talk to another person too. There is, right? Like with the ace here, then we have the blockage, then the ace is trying to go through. It's like someone taking different routes to try to communicate with someone. It's odd, where it's like, oh well, I can't text them, so I'm going to message them through this app. I don't, it's something unique. Again, only take it if it hits, because I feel like I'm doing a personal reading right now when it's obviously not. But moving into the bonus, we have the Tower. Super intense Scorpio energy. If you're connected to Scorpio, this could be it here. If you have Scorpio placements, which you might, because Scorpio and Sag are very close to each other, that could be it. But what do we think of with the Tower? Intensity. Similar to the ace, it's an energy of shock, things that pop in out of the blue. It's not always the worst case scenario, big ending, but it's an energy that comes in out of the blue. So again, watch out for things, situations, conversations, and talks that just like pop up out of nowhere. But I want to dive deeper on all this, Saggy. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Ace of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to get to Saggy, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Ace of Wands time. This does look like a scene, right? It's like this energy wants to talk. There's something in between, but this energy, it's so interesting to me. Let's get the Ace of Wands. Let's see what's up with that Ace of Wands, please. Oh, okay. All right, so there does seem to be something surrounding communication, whether it's topics that are completely out of the blue, people, situations, whatever it is. We have the High Priestess in the upright underneath this Ace of Wands. Now, I will say this before we get into the whole messages and talks and the communication stuff. One thing I say about this combination, I think I felt it in the Aries reading this week as well, where there's something I'm anticipating. Like I feel something in the air. I feel like something's coming, right? Like that's a big vibe here with the Ace of Wands and the High Priestess. She is the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers, big watery energy, Pisces energy. I also link her to Cancer and Scorpio too. That's just what I do. But aside from her being very spiritual and extremely intuitive, she can represent the unknown, the unseen, things that are not on our radar right now. So obviously, I always have to, when I see her linked with an ace, that's like, oh, that's like an unexpected or shocking talk or a surprising one, right? I even said it when we hit the Tower, where it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting to talk about this. Oh, I wasn't expecting to talk about this one. So there are a lot of either unknowns or mystery surrounding messages, talks, and communication. It's just here. But aside from that, there is also this anticipation, right? It's like, oh, I feel something. I feel something in the air. So I'm not sure what you might be anticipating, whether it's an action someone's going to make, and who knows, maybe someone's anticipating you. We're going to keep going. We're going to see what's up with the Nine of Wands. So, yeah, let's see. Because this might be the blockage, right? Because, like, we have these energies doing things, but let's see what the Nine of Wands has. So, why is the Nine of Wands here? Thank you. Ace of Cups, okay. So, another card of communication showing up. We have the Ace of Cups in that card, right, as well. Okay, that's really unique. All right, this is somebody that just needs a minute. This is someone that just needs a second. It's like, okay, not now, but not never, if that makes sense. Where it's like, hey, we could talk about this, but let's not talk about it right now. Let's talk about it in like a week. It's like trying to delay a conversation, or it's like, I know I need to speak with this person, but I just can't do it right now. So maybe for some of you, that's advice. Maybe that spirit saying, like, hey, listen, Saji, if someone wants to talk to you about this and you're not ready to talk about it, don't do it. Or it could be vice versa. If you hit someone up to talk and they seem overwhelmed, it's like, no, let's circle back on this. Let's put a pin in this. There's something about delaying a conversation or a talk or a message of some kind. And now I don't necessarily feel like it's a big in your face rejection type of thing, because to me it's like, let's circle back on it. So for some Saggies, maybe in this time, it's a good time to circle back on certain things, certain situations. If things are a little too intense or the feelings are a little too high with the Ace of Cups, maybe it would be best to circle back at some point. Like to me, it's like, let's delay this. Let's talk about this another time. So it's like digesting. I need to digest or work through this, then we'll discuss it. So let's keep going. I mean, we're getting some real unique stuff. Feels like I'm doing a personal reading here. But let's keep going. I read for a lot of you beautiful Saggies, and I don't know why it's like giving me personal vibes. Let's see what's up with the Four of Cups. It's like all communication, but there is that little blockage in the center. So yeah, watch out for people that's like trying to get information out of them, it's like trying to pry it out. That's like another thing. Let's see what's up with the Four of Cups. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think this is actually good result. So we have the Six of Cups in the upright, another communication card. Right. We see the two kids are sharing the cup back and forth. This is also a card of soul ties, soul connections, but mainly to me, it represents someone that we may have a history with. And it's funny how I was mentioning circling back on something because the Six of Cups is a card of something returning. Is something popping back up? I saw this in the Aries reading. If you're connected to an Aries or you have an Aries placement, very similar vibes between the Saggy and Aries readings this week, and it did push in a good direction. Now, again, I know that's hyper specific, but the Six of Cups underneath the Four of Cups, it's like I'm just waiting on this thing to come back in. So we have like the unexpected talk, shocking talk, whatever we want to label it. Then we have like the blockage, or let's circle back on it, let's kick the can down the road. This is the circling back. This is the energy that's returning. This is the energy where it's like, okay, we delayed it. Now let's talk about it. The Six of Cups is a card of history, and it's a card that reapproaches too. It's a card that does return and pop up. So we have a pretty clear cut picture here for some Saggies. Some of you, this could be hyper specific, but just know you might be having some interesting talks here in the coming days and weeks. Like that's what it's all about. It feels like, especially for all the fire signs this week, it is extra, extra chatty. A lot of water here too. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. So again, extra chatty. If kindly look in the box, position number one, we have the Ace of Wands with the High Priestess in the upright. Cool. Unexpected, surprising, shocking talk, let message, whatever label we want to put on it. That's how it mainly feels to me. But there is also this heightened sense of anticipation. So if you're kind of tapped into energy and you feel like something's coming and you can't put your finger on it, that's kind of what this is. In the center, nine of wands with the Ace of Cups in the upright, where it's like, I can't talk about it right now. I don't really want to speak about it right now. Let's circle back on it. That's the main vibe. So whether it's delaying a conversation, kicking the can down the road, putting a pin in it, whatever label we want to put, there is an energy where it's like, let's revisit this later. So do with that what you will, whether it's a situation or a talk. It's like we're revisiting this, especially if you're overwhelmed by something. If you got too much on your plate, push it down a little bit. Moving to the back end, we have the Four of Cups, Six of Cups in the upright. The energy does get revisited at some point, or the energy does pop up in return. So this could just be a clear-cut advice, like, hey, if someone approaches you and you don't know what to say, kick the can down the road. Or maybe someone's doing that, right? Like maybe they just don't have it in them right now to discuss something. So it's like, all right, let's delay this. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this going. What do we got in the shadows for my Saggy friends? What is in the shadows? Thank you. Cool. All right, so we have the Emperor. Funny, that's an Aries card when I was seeing such a similarity with the Aries reading. But it doesn't just have to represent that. Now, the Emperor, divine masculine energy normally. It is the counterpart of the Empress. I like this card quite a bit, aside from like the Aries placements. This is someone that knows the direction they're going, and this is like big boss energy. Now, for some Saggies, if you have issues with authority figures or authority in general, being told what to do and micromanaged, you want to watch out for this when it shows up in the shadows. Because like, don't tell me what to do. Or maybe there's someone that just they might lash out against authority for whatever reason. I don't know why that's coming through this week, but it is. Emperor can be great though, because it's like, okay, let's plan and let's take action. This is the King of Kings, remember? Like this Emperor rules over a lot of things in the tarot deck. So it's like, this is the direction. This is what we're doing. Let's go handle business. So this is great for getting stuff done and planning for sure. But the only downside to it, it can be a little micromanaging. And if you have issues with people in positions of authority or authority in general, you want to watch out for that. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see. Uh, that's what I got for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The August calendar is up and spots go quick, so you might want to check that out. But for the August subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 winners at random to either choose the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, which is an absolutely stunning deck, or one of the custom made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards that showed up in your reading today, which one intrigued you the most? Which one caught your attention and why? And you put that in the comments, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab / post tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.